Brittany Sherman. I'm the CEO President for the Morgan Hill Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being with us today. We are pleased to be joined with Mr. Avi Gingold. He's been an ambassador for 1 year. He is a local business owner, the small business specialist for Legal Shield, and we also want to congratulate him on becoming a new grandpa. So just as a teaser, make sure you watch the entire video, because at the end, if you are a chamber member, there is going to be a special offer to sign up for Legal Shield services. So without further ado, Avi, take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Brittany, for the kind words and the great introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Avi Gingold, and again, a new Morgan Hill resident. I've been here for about a year, as well as a chamber member for that long. And I'm very excited to share with you some information about things that every small business needs to know. And we're going through some very tough time here today with COVID-19. The economy is not that good. And I truly believe that the information that you're going to hear will actually benefit you greatly. So I would like, without further ado, to introduce my business partner, Melissa Wider, which is our vice president. She's been with the company for over 20 plus years, very, very well known and experienced. And I would like to switch to her. So please join me in welcoming Melissa Wider.
Well, hello again, everyone. My name is Melissa Wilder. I am your host for our Let's Chat Small Business Overview here today. So excited to have this opportunity to share with you our Legal Shield story and what we've done in our small business community for over 48 years. What I'm going to do is go ahead and turn off my camera so we can focus on the content here on the PowerPoint slides. But I want to start by saying thank you especially to our guest for being part of this overview here today. It's always a pleasure to share our story, our Legal Shield story, especially to those of you that have never heard our story before. And to those of you that are already members and you've joined us so you can get reacquainted with the services, we thank you as well for joining us today. And as always, thank you to my business colleagues who join to always make this a great time here on our small business overview. So if you're looking at the PowerPoint slide, this may look like a Main Street America. And for those of you that have dialed in by phone, this is actually a visual of a lot of storefront businesses, but a very quiet and reserved sidewalk and street. There's no people in this photo. And that's maybe how our small business communities have looked throughout maybe these last couple months. And I know things are opening back up, which is so super exciting. But still, you know, we don't have as much traffic in our small business communities as we normally would. And although it may look peaceful and calm on the outside, on the inside, we know as business owners, as a business community, we have a whirlwind of questions and concerns and issues going on today. And we just might need some help, some guidance, some peace of mind as we're continuing to reopen our businesses. And, you know, we do understand that the health of our communities is most definitely tied to the overall health of our business community. And so being able to share with you resources that we have that potentially can help, once again, as I mentioned, is super exciting and honestly a privilege for me. So those of you that haven't heard about our company, Legal Shield, we have been in business since 1972. As a matter of fact, when we were created to make equal access to the justice system a reality, not just words, not just a phrase. And today we're very proud to say that we protect and empower over 4.5 million lives with our services across the United States and Canada. And we have over 140,000 businesses also that have our services to protect and empower their business, and sometimes as well to protect and empower their employees and their employees' families. Now, how do we give access to a dedicated network of top quality law firms that we have throughout the United States and Canada? How do we give this access to our member base? How can they afford to have this access to these top quality law firms? It's through what I would call our shared economy process. See, every month our members very gladly pay a small monthly premium to have access to these firms. And what we do is we take a percentage of that small monthly premium and we prepay these firms in advance to serve our members. So when our members call in, our firms can say, how can we help you, not how can we bill you? Because excitingly enough, we've prepaid them to serve our members. This is through a shared economy process. This is collective buying power. This allows us as small businesses to have access to big business resources, but on our small business budget. It allows us to do collectively what big business can afford to do independently. And I'm really hoping that you'll be part of our small business community, our collective buying power in our process. Now, throughout the years that we've been in business, we've done a lot of surveys, a lot of white papers to really understand the needs of people in our community, right? The families in our communities, but also for our small business community. And this is actually one of the white papers. This one's entitled The Legal Needs of Small Businesses. And if you're a guest here, my business partner can send you a brochure format of this white paper. But really why we do this is to really understand the needs of small businesses, but also to help better serve those needs. We understand that the top traditional 10 legal issues that business owners face are things like debt collection letters, contract document review, contractor supplier vendor disputes, internet security breaches, product liability issues and concerns. Employee issues in general across the board can be extremely challenging and concerning, but also can independent contractors, right? And working with independent contractors in those agreements. Tax issues and audits across the board, and most definitely the threats of consumer lawsuits. Now, we know also through our surveys that if these are some of your pressing issues, at some point you've probably sought out legal help to understand what the law says and how to navigate that, right? How to protect yourself and those you're doing business with. But we also know through our surveys that nearly 60% of our small business community, small business owners such as you and I, we don't freely pick up the phone and seek out legal help when we have a question, concern, or issue because it can be expensive for us. And those of us that maybe made an unqualified decision and we weren't as proactive and preventive as we should be, at some point we probably became defensive and responsive to a situation. Therefore, it can be expensive for us. And some of those small business owners cited paying anywhere between $7,600 or $10,000 or more on that legal expense. So once again, it's not financially something that most of us can afford to do. But even if we did seek out legal help on our traditional day-to-day type of things, our most pressing things, you know, times have changed over the course of the last couple months. Most definitely, times have changed and they're going to continue to change. And so I would dare say that answers of the past are answers of the past. We need to start asking new questions and getting new answers because, you know, legislation has changed, laws have changed, and circumstances have changed. So to give you some illustration of that, let's just say you were a business owner that had some accounts receivable issues. You had some debt collection issues, and you understood maybe by getting qualified help to how to navigate that, right? And how to collect as much as that debt as possible because you need that for cash flow. But things have changed, as I mentioned. We've had, you know, restrictions. We've had, you know, stay-at-home orders. We've had closures, right? Mandated restrictions and closures. So people and businesses are making the type of money that maybe they were making before. But businesses or people owe you money. How should you collect that today? Should you still operate in the same fashion as before, or should you still send out debt collection letters, or should you send them to credit repositories or collection agencies for not paying their debt? Once again, it's always wise to kind of revisit this question, right, to get counsel again. So I like to say we need a reset to revisit or potentially revise some of the operation of what we're doing. Contract review and contractor and supplier disputes. You know, in contracts, I'm sure if you're a business that uses contracts, you've had your attorney prepare your contracts or to review those contracts because we want to make sure we're protecting our best interest as well as the interests of people that we're doing business with, to be fair, obviously, and to do it legally. With that being said, though, once again, times have changed. For instance, I have a contractor that started work here in my home in March. They were supposed to be done in June. I just before this overview had to check. They're in the backyard. They're still working. That contract had a start date and an end date, but they didn't fulfill their obligations. Could they be responsible for a breach of contract? Or is there a disclaimer in that contract that says in the event of a global pandemic, they're not responsible for breach of contract? It's at no fault of the contractors that maybe he couldn't get the shipments in on time. He didn't get the supplies in time. He didn't have the manpower to fulfill his obligation to me in time. So in pressing this, when I have my attorney review that and say, hey, listen, he didn't meet the deadline and now is he in breach of the terms of that contract? See, once again, we need to have a reset. We need to revisit these things. We may want to have a re-review of these things and potentially at some point have a revision. Document review, we're getting all these documents from all these great agencies that want to keep us in the know. We need to be in the know of what's happening. But are these things that are just informational for us? Are these things we need to act on to stay in compliance with something? Or are these documents something to tell us about how we can financially gain some government relief effort or things of that nature? Once again, overwhelming amount of information. We need to have attorneys tell us, our counsel tell us what we should be doing. Employee issues. If you have employees, I'm sure you have an employee handbook. And it's there for a reason. It's there to make sure that your employees understand their job performance and duties and responsibilities, obligations. It's to protect you, it's to protect them. But at the same time, things have changed, right? We've got these potential stay-at-home orders. They're working in different conditions, different environments. Maybe they're working from home. Have we updated our employee handbook to tell them, right, what the expectations are in these changes? If not, it's something we might want to revisit at some point, have re-reviewed or revised. These are just 4 of the top 10 legal issues that I'm giving illustration with. But like I mentioned, we need to ask even new questions because once again, things have changed. And so my business partner can send you two flyers here that our law firms have put together about potential questions that as business owners, as a business community, we should be thinking or we should be asking to our counsel. This one's called Protect Your Business Legal Rights in Times of Uncertainty. Things like, what are your obligations to protect your employees or to protect your customers or clients as we're reopening? Should you revise any of your policies, maybe like your benefits policies or travel policies? Do you have any obligations to pay employees sick leave? If an employee is showing symptoms, can you force them to stay at home, although they may want to come back to work if work is open? Are you required to allow employees to work from home if they want to, if they choose to, but you need them in the work environment? Are you responsible if an employee or a customer or a client is exposed to the virus while on the job or at your establishment, or if one of your workers goes into their personal space, right? One of your customers or clients' personal space. Can you ask employees to get tested for COVID-19? Is that permissible? See, these are a lot of questions that maybe you've thought of, but maybe we just haven't thought of. We're asking you to take all the questions that you have in your head today, all maybe the contracts and documents you need to have reviewed today, kind of put them pen to paper. Let's start organizing our thoughts. Let's start thinking about some of these other questions that our provider law firms are saying that we should be asking to protect ourselves. Also, what about, can I file an insurance claim due to losses related to COVID-19 restrictions and closures? We have a lot of insurances. What's going to assure that we're actually taken care of through that process? We should have these policies reviewed by our counsel. Or maybe you just need help navigating through all this new legislation and government relief efforts. This next one is, what do business owners, or what should business owners know about the economic rescue plan and employment law if you have employees? Or even if you're working with 1099, right, independent contractors, what you should know. Things like, though, does my business qualify for stimulus? Is it going to be a second round, and could I qualify? How do I receive that money? But more importantly, if you receive it, how can I spend it? What am I able to spend the money for? So once again, these are sheets that we would love to give you to help you get some collective thought on what you should be prepared to speak to your counsel about. And then we also have a legal resource center. Please make sure my business partner texts you a link so you can download this legal resource center. It has, prepared by our provider law firms, it has a lot of articles and information that can give you answers, that can give you some resolve, it can give you some peace of mind. And don't go there just once. Go there on a continual basis, because our provider law firms will update this on a frequent basis. So what do we do, though, Legal Shield, to empower business owners? Well, we've made the legal system simple, easy, and affordable. Now, we know traditionally we think of it as time-consuming, complex, and expensive. I've already talked to you about how we make it affordable. By our collective buying power, our shared economy process empowers us to have the access. How do we make it simple and easy? Well, Legal Shield, we've disrupted the legal system by putting it through technology. We're going to put an app in the palm of your hands. This app, wherever you have access to your phone, I want you to think about this. Anytime you have access to your phone, you have access to your firm. Anytime that you, as a business owner, have any questions, concerns, or issues, thoughts, things that are keeping you up at night, something in your gut says it doesn't feel right, something in your head said it doesn't make sense, you simply just tap the app and you're connected to your provider law firm. There's no more need for stressing, guessing, finger cross, or Google decisions ever again. We should never make an unqualified decision again, because we can be as proactive and preventive as we need to be by simply tapping the app and being connected to your law firm, and within 4 business hours, having an attorney speak to you about your question, your concern, telling you what the rights are, telling you what the law stipulates. It's that easy. Wherever you have access to your phone, you have access to your firm. Now, these are some of the plans that we do offer. This is our Small Business 10, 50, 100 products. Now, I do have to say that in some states or provinces, the plan can vary slightly, or the price point can vary slightly. So please get with my business partner so they can walk you through that. But for this illustration, the Small Business 10 is $39 a month, the Small Business 50 is $89 a month, and the Small Business 100 is $149 a month, month to month. Now, as a consumer, I usually will fall into the highest category. So I'm just going to go there for a second to put things in perspective. You know, if you're a small business owner and you think about all the questions that you've had prior to this conversation, some that you've thought of during this conversation, and some maybe that you'll think of later to add to, of course, the sheets that we're going to send you, and you realize, well, I have a lot of questions, right? But you also realize very quickly that maybe you have $150 for your legal expense budget. And you look at all the questions and things that you need assistance with, and you realize, well, $150 is going to get maybe 30 minutes of a business attorney's time for me to ask questions and for me to get my answers. But with Legal Shield, you don't get 30 minutes. You get 30 days. So you don't have to limit or prioritize your questions and concerns. You can be as proactive and preventive as you need to, because that small business budget stretches that from a 30-minute conversation to 30 days where you have unlimited consultation and more. And not just you, but also any of your authorized users, meaning people that also make decisions on behalf of your business. Maybe somebody that helps you manage your office or manage your employees, maybe your business partners. We can add 2 to 5 authorized users at no additional cost. And all of you can have access by a simple tap of an app. And as I mentioned, we give you that unlimited consultation advice for business-related issues, as well as we write letters and make phone calls on your behalf to help solve these issues and concerns. Anywhere between 20 and 40, depending on your eligibility and need, we'll make those letters and phone calls on your behalf per year. We also will not only write those letters, make phone calls, we'll do debt collection letters for you and assisting you with the accounts receivable. Anywhere between 10 and 15 debt collection letters a month, and not written on our small business stationery, but on the law offices of letterhead, which we know gets a lot more attention. We also will review these contracts and documents for you so we understand exactly what you're dealing with, right? How to navigate through some of these things, or if your contracts are up to date. Anywhere between 20 and 40 contracts and documents a year. And if you're concerned about being sued, well, our Small Business 50 and 100 also give you 75 hours every year in the event of your business being sued. Powerful, right there in the palm of your hands. Or you may just be like me. I'm an independent business owner with no employees. Or you may be a family-owned, family-operated business with no employees outside of your immediate family. You could qualify for our Family and Business Supplement. For as little as $34.90 a month, you can not only protect your business, but also your family. We'll give you that business consultation, as well as write letters, make phone calls, contract review, debt collection. But on a personal note, we'll also give you personal consultation, letters and phone calls, contract review of a personal nature, and we're going to do your estate planning, which is a huge asset today, right? Being able to freely be able to get your will, your living will, your healthcare power of attorney, your financial power of attorney, all included for that $34.90 a month. Now, you can, of course, have the family plan as, independent of the business plans. And we also have an identity theft program. Once again, we give you an app in the palm of your hands. And what we do once we get you as a member of ID Shield, we help you activate this app where you enter in all the information that you want us to monitor. I like to say your digital DNA and your privacy. We'll also do privacy management. Things like your social security number, your dates of birth, your address, your driver's license number, your passport, your financial accounts, right? Like your 401ks, your HSAs, your medical insurance, social media, emails, passwords. We will then put that in our system and we'll do regular monitoring, daily monitoring of that information. If activity has taken place, we'll prompt you alertly right there in the palm of your hands that the activity has taken place. If you caused it, no worry, but if you didn't, once again, it's as simple as a tap of an app. You are now connected to your fraud investigators who will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to get you back to pre-theft status with a $1 million insurance protection policy for any out-of-pocket expenses. So you can focus on life, you can focus on your business while your fraud investigators are focusing on the problem. Now, I know that was a lot of information for me to say in 20 minutes, and most definitely a lot of information for you to receive in those 20 minutes. So kind of in recapping this, we do have a suite of small business plans based on your eligibility and need, as well as we have a family and business supplement package for you if you qualify. Or you can have our Legal Shield and ID Shield independent of those plans. And we do also offer our Legal Shield and ID Shield as a voluntary employee benefit so that we can help protect and empower your employees and their families, giving them peace of mind, allowing them to be more focused, more proactive and productive on the job, right, by having these types of programs. So in just this last slide here with me today, I just want to ask you to get with my business partner who can get you those resources that I mentioned that might be able to help you understand some of the questions that you should be asking, as well as that Legal Resource Center to give you some answers. There's some great articles with some great answers in there for you. But also get with my business partner so they can talk to you about your eligibility. And based on your eligibility, also based on your need, we can help protect and empower your business. We'd love to be able to do that starting today. So please get back with my business partner so that they can answer your questions and guide you through the process. And also, please remember, as we are reopening our communities, remember the health of our community is tied to the overall health of our small business community. And we want these small businesses to prosper. So please, let's continue as we're reopening, not only to do our part of doing the social distancing and what we need to do, but also do our part in patronizing our small business community. Remember, after all, they are the backbone of your community. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you again for joining me.
Great. I hope you enjoyed and you saw benefit in the information that Melissa just shared with you guys. As a chamber member, we have a special offer. The chamber partnered up with Legal Shield to offer group discount rates to chamber members. So if you go to this link, you'll be able to see all the different plans, as well as the group benefits, group rates for individuals, legal and identity theft. And feel free to reach out to me. My name is Avi Gingold, and here is my direct phone number as well as my email address. If you send me an email or send me a text on that phone, I'll be happy to share with you the 2 documents and the link to the COVID-19 resource website for you to use. And I'm here to answer any questions that you may have, as well as help you enroll. With that, thank you so much, Lori and Brittany, for inviting me to share this information with our small business community. And I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you,
Avi. Thank you so much, Avi. If anybody has any questions, they can obviously reach out to Avi with the information provided. You can also reach out to me at Lori, Lori, @morganhill.org, and I'll be happy to connect you with Avi as well. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Bye-bye.
Bye.